welcome to the United Community channel. My name is Jack, and this is the latest episode of the United Community podcast. And we've got a special one tonight. We're doing our Premier League predictions and our predictions for Manchester United this season. We will be getting into some of the news as well, guys. We've got to talk about Baleba. We've got to talk about Jadon Sancho. The guys are going to give you, obviously, I hope you've all seen my match preview already. If you haven't, go check it out after this. But the guys are going to give their predicted 11 for the game against Arsenal on the weekend as well. As always, we've got Chris, Oisín and Ben. Please do smash a like the video, subscribe if you're new, all of that good stuff. How we're going to do it, guys, is we're going to, to hell with the whole middle part of the table, where we finished last year. But we're going to do the top. We're going to do the 3 relegated teams, and then we're going to give you our top 8. I actually only have 7, but I'll put in an 8th one there in a moment. And the reason why we're giving you top 8 is because that may be where we have to go to include Man United. So that's why. Ben, I love the name that you've got on already. If I can turn it on, I will show everybody.
Oh boy.
Here's the display name, Ben, top 4. There we go. Happy days. Right. That might be a little bit of a snippet, but anyway. Go on, Chris. You want to say something?
I have a question. Are we doing? Is our top 8 with the transfers with Baleba or without Baleba?
As it stands. As it stands.
Oh, yikes!
Well, look. You might think we'll sign Baleba and you put us 4th. Oisín might think we might not get Baleba and he puts us 7th. You know what I mean? Whatever you think. But we'll have a debate, and everybody else in the chat, guys, let us know as well who we got in. Sean is in. He says, lucky to end up top 12 with Amarim's love for open goal Onana. And D says Onana isn't much of an issue if we outscore teams, plus Onana conceded less goals than, for example, Brighton, Brentford, West Ham all finished above us last season. There we go. That's why I was saying I didn't think the goalkeeper was the number 1 concern this summer. But anyway, let's jump into it. Right, we'll start with the bottom 3 first. Okay. Oisín, I'll go to you first on it. Or maybe not. I'll tell you, we'll go. Oisín's busy there. We'll go to Chris first. Chris, let's start with the bottom place in the Premier League. Maybe give us, or if you want to give us your bottom 3, whatever you want to do, and we'll discuss.
I mean, going from the bottom, or
2019, 18.
20, I got Wolves, Burnley, and Leeds.
Okay.
So I have Southampton staying up. I mean, I looked at their kind of window. They spent a lot of money. Honestly.
Southampton will have a job to do because they're
Sunderland did. Sunderland did, and Sunderland they spent a decent amount of cash. So I think they're going to stay up, and I think Wolves are going to go down. And I think it's going to be close. But then Burnley, I don't see how Burnley stays up, and Leeds. They're already calling. A lot of people are calling for manager. That's the first manager to get sacked. So I mean, I just don't see Leeds staying up at that point.
Okay. Ben, I'll go to you next. Has yours changed? Give us your thoughts. Who's finishing in the bottom 3?
Yeah, I've got Burnley, Leeds, and I've gone for an outsider of Brentford.
Yeah.
The players that they've lost, new manager.
Yeah. And the set piece coach is their new manager, Keith Andrews. Good Irishman. I hope he does well, but I think it's stacked against him, is it?
I think so, yeah. Like I said, they've lost quite a lot of players, haven't they?
Yeah. So you've gone with, give them to me again. Burnley,
Leeds, and Brentford.
Burnley, Leeds, and Brentford. Okay. Oisín.
Yeah, I went the exact same as Ben. I went Burnley to finish bottom of the league. I just can't see them putting it together. Don't rate Scott Parker as a manager. I think he'll be the first to get the bullet. Then Leeds in 19th and Brentford in 18th. But I do have Sunderland in 17th, so there could be a point or 2 on goal difference between Sunderland and Brentford. I don't see much between them.
I think more than anything else, what we might get is a very exciting relegation battle this year, maybe, because there are a lot of teams that are kind of flirting with that bottom 3. I think I think even the likes of West Ham could be dragged into it. You know what I mean? Depending on their
They're
season.
they're my next team. That was my surprise. If it's not Wolves, it's going to be, I would say, West Ham, because I just don't think losing Kudus, and I just don't think they have enough. And the Graham Potter thing is, I don't think is.
There he is.
There he is.
What's happening, boys?
What's happening, Desi, man? All good?
Not bad.
So, Desi, you came in at the right time, because we're after going through the three boys there with their bottom three.
Hold on, Jack. Hold on.
Right, okay. I give you my bottom three. I've actually left Leeds up. I think they could potentially stay up. I just think maybe the size of the club. I'm not 100% sure on all of the business they've done. But I think they're big enough of a club. And I know that doesn't really count for much when, results matter. But I've gone with Burnley, obviously, bottom. I think Sunderland to go back down, and I've put Wolves in my bottom three as well. I think they've been absolutely decimated with, I think they've lost too much quality. And have they got a new manager in there as well, maybe? No. Who's their manager? No, they don't. But yeah, that's my bottom three. Desi, you're just after joining us. We're doing our three relegation teams. Who have you got? Like the majority, obviously, I think we've all gone for Burnley to be bottom. Some of us have Sunderland. Some of us have Leeds. I've got Wolves. I think Ben went with Brentford.
Brentford, yeah.
I think West Ham could be in trouble.
Yeah. We were just mentioning it, and D thinks the same. He says West Ham, Burnley, Wolves as well.
Yeah. West Ham. Yeah, they'd be my three there that he's just said there.
West Ham, Burnley, Wolves. So you're saying two of the promoted teams. And you know what? I think we'd all be in agreement that I think we would like to see as many of the promoted teams stay up as possible, because has it been 3 seasons in a row now where all 3 promoted teams have gone straight back down. You don't want to see that gap widening. Right, let's get on to the important stuff then. And we'll get on to the top 8. Okay. We'll start with we'll start with 8th place first, and I'll go around the room and I'll ask you who you've got. So Chris, you're obviously on my direct left or right, whatever it is. Who have you got finishing in 8th place? Spurs. And reasoning, like obviously, where did they finish last year? Was it 17th?
17th, but I think, Thomas Frank, watching the game yesterday, I think they played pretty well against PSG. I just don't think they have enough, and I think the being in Champions League is gonna hurt them throughout the season, because I don't think they're deep enough. So I think you're gonna see kind of what happened with Villa last year, is where they have to play in all these competitions, and they're gonna drop a little bit. But I do think that they have quality enough to finish better than they finished last year, just like us. I just think and then also when you look at this, if you look at all the teams that have lost guys, Brentford, Bournemouth, all these other, maybe Brighton, hopefully soon. A lot of those teams are going to get weaker, and so I think you're going to see a little bit more. You're going to see other teams rising to the top a little bit, but I just think with the competitions that they're going to have to play in, that I think they're going to drop out, and I don't think you're going to see them as bad as they were last year, as well as same as with us. I don't think we're going to be where we were last year at all. So yeah, I just think it's those 2 instances are a culmination of a lot of things just not going right and everything like that. Where I think,
and am I right in saying, lads, that top 5 at the end of this year, is that guaranteed to be Champions League again, or does it depend on how European games go?
It depends on how European goes, but there's an overwhelming sense that top 5 will get Champions League again.
Okay.
So,
right,
because of how many good teams that we have, how many teams that England, the Prem has up in there.
Yeah, so we would be saying in top 5 Champions League, 6th and 7th then is Europa, and then you will be saying 8th then, which you're saying the Spurs will be conference. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Ben, who are you putting in 8th position?
I've got Villa.
Villa, right. Okay. Yeah. Are you predicting maybe a slight, I think they finished 7th last year, or was it?
Yeah.
And any particular reason, I presume if Ollie Watkins leaves, it would be a massive blow. But
yeah, there's rumours there's a few players going in there, being linked with. different teams in it. I just think that they won't have enough strength in the side. Like a bit like Tottenham, like Chrissy said, it could be either one of them. But I just think with the games that they're going to play, they've lost some decent players, haven't they? So
yeah, and Villa
They
finished.
bought nobody.
Villa finished in 6th last year, so they've got European football to contend with as well.
And
this
they bought
season.
nobody so far.
They've signed nobody.
None.
Yeah,
No.
and I heard, is it Leon is being linked with maybe?
yeah,
Juventus?
Leon's being linked. Ramsey's going to Newcastle, isn't he?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, you might be far off there with Villa. Oisín, 8th place.
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, purely because they got Champions League. They haven't strengthened their squad, but all those teams around them last year have all strengthened, and they'll be much stronger squads next year. So I have to go with Newcastle.
Does Isak potentially leave and play into that as well, or do you think if he does, they might finish even lower?
I think because they haven't got Sesko now, they're not letting him to go. They won't even go. I think unless Liverpool come in with a £200 million offer, I can't see them letting Isak go. Because even if they do get Watkins, which I don't think Villa will let him go because they won't be able to afford to replace him, I think that they'll have to keep Isak because Watkins won't be a direct replacement for his goals. So I don't see Isak going.
I read that Isak's going to pull a Garnacho and he won't even play.
Yeah, well, I think Fabrizio Romano was speaking about it today at an hour or two ago, saying something similar, that he reiterates the fact he's not playing for Newcastle again. He doesn't want to be included in the first.
Exactly.
I reckon what we will see is I think are Newcastle and Liverpool playing each other in the second game of the season. And I think as soon as that's done, I think you could potentially see Newcastle go, right, we'll let you go. If the money is right, of course.
Yeah.
Desi, 8th place for yourself.
Well, I done absolutely no homework on any of this, so I'm just gonna freestyle the shit out of this. Under no real sense of direction. I don't know. 8th.
To give you a clue on it, last season Brighton finished 8th.
Well, do you know what? I'm not joking. I was actually thinking them. I think it would be just above mid-table. I'd say someone to maybe drop down a little bit. I'd say Forest.
Forest. Okay, yeah, nobody is after mentioning them yet. Okay, very good. I've gone with Newcastle.
I don't think they'll have as good of a season as they did last year.
Yeah, they were heavily reliant on Chris Wood's goals, weren't they? And Elanga is gone as well, and so on and so forth. I've gone with Newcastle as well, similar to Oisín. I think juggling European football, not signing anybody, and potentially losing Isak as well. Like I'm predicting they have a bang average season. Right. What we'll do then is we'll do 6th and 7th together. So we'll do the 2 Europa League spots. Oisín, I'll give you first choice on 6th and 7th, the 2 Europa League spots.
Forest and Spurs. I like how Spurs look. Spurs in 6th, Forest in 7th. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Forest will drop a few positions because of the European football this year. They haven't strengthened the squad hugely either. If Chris Wood goes injured or goes missing, they're going to lose a lot of goals. Spurs will improve. I liked what I saw last night. Okay, they went very Spursy in the last 10 minutes, but they were absolutely wrecked from defending. I think Thomas Frank is going to get them playing very good football. It was evident last night that they are improving, and I think they'll end up with Europa football next year.
Okay. Very good. Ben?
Yeah, I've got Newcastle Spurs. Because obviously I had Villa, didn't I, in 8th, so...
Yeah. And...
Very similar.
Similar reasons to Oisín, yeah, 100%. I don't think there's much really to add to that. Chris, I'll go to you next.
I have Forest and Newcastle. I have Newcastle in 7th, Forest in 6th. I think that with Forest keeping getting light and everything, I think that they're going to still be solid. I think Newcastle is going to lose a lot because I think they are going to lose Isak, and I think they're going to drop out. But I don't think they'll drop out far enough because they did get Elanga. They did sign Elanga this, to go along with Anthony Gordon on the other side. Are they going to lose a striker? Yeah, but I mean, I ultimately think I have Villa at 9th because I ultimately think if Isak goes, I think that Newcastle is going to go get Oli Watkins to play up top at the end of the window. I mean, I really think they're going to if they lose Isak, they're going to go spend the money and get somebody to play up there to try to stay up. And you got to remember they have one of the most solid midfields in the Prem. I mean, with Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes and everybody, I just think that they can. I think they can withstand it, but I still think there's going to be a fall off because losing Isak is going to hurt, and then with European football and everything like that. So, and then Forrest, I just like the way Forrest plays, and they, Chris Wood and Gibbs White and everything, and I think that I think they'll be just fine at sixth at that point.
Perfect. Desi, I'm intentionally leaving you last so you can get as much information as you can on board. 2 Europa League spots for yourself.
I'm just a big empty head here on it at the minute. So go for in sixth. I would go Villa, and in seventh I would go Newcastle.
Okay, very good. I'm loving the fact that nobody has mentioned Manchester United yet, which is fantastic. In sixth, I've gone with Villa, and in seventh, I've gone with Spurs. So that makes up. I actually don't have Nottingham Forest in my top 8 at all.
You know they've not scored pre-season.
They haven't scored at all.
Forest have not scored a goal in pre-season.
I'm so glad I don't have Chris Wood in my FPL. Happy days. Did you see the FPL video go up today, by the way? I just wanted to make sure that it did.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Can I redo my predictions after all that what Ben said? You haven't scored a goal in season. Shocking stuff.
Right, let's go then. Right, we're talking about Champions League spots then. Right, number 5. Ben, I'll go to you first on this. Who's creeping in to potentially the last Champions League spot this season?
Chelsea for me. You're going to be shocked, but I'm going Chelsea.
And give me a reasoning, because a lot of people are putting Chelsea in their top 4. Give me a reasoning behind not having them in there.
I just think it's with new players coming in again. I don't think it's going to work. They've got that many players to choose from. They're going to play that much football. Are they going to get a consistent team? Or are they going to keep all the players happy?
It's a good argument. Yeah, it's a very, very good argument.
And if Garnacho goes, and they're not going to score no goals from left side on itself.
We know by the name on your video tonight that we know who's pipping him to 4th spot. Chris, I'll go to you next. Who's creeping into the Champions League spots?
I have us at 5th. I have United at 5th. I think that with what we've done so far in the window, I think that with a revamping our front line and everything that I've seen, the camaraderie that I've seen out of the team from the U.S. tour, everything that's coming out about how Ineos is treating, especially like Garnacho and Sancho and everybody, about the termination of the contract, or Wilcox coming out and saying, you want to go to Chelsea, you can give any ultimatum you want. You're going to sit in the reserves, and you're going to ruin your football career. And I love it. And I mean that's the hard line that needs to be taken. I love Leon, Leon, and I love Dorgu. What he's done in the preseason, he looks like he's firing on all cylinders already. I just think that we're gonna surprise a lot of teams. But 5th place does lend the fact that to temper expectations. You could still lose 9 to 10 games in 5th and make fifth. So, it's not like we're going to be, gangbusters and, like undefeated or, anything like that. We're going to have our ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I think we have enough that we've done with the front line and everything, and the way that the team looks to be coming together, that I think that 5th place is a real option for us.
Okay. I like it. Oisín, 5th spot.
Yeah, I have us there as well. Much like what Chris said, and the fact we've got 1 game a week this year.
Yeah.
So if we can't get some cohesion going and give Aaron as much time on the pitch to get the game plan together, then we're in trouble. I did have us in 4th, but then I was thinking, and we'll get on to it later on, if we do sign Baleba, we're going to lose 5 players to the AFCON at Christmas time.
Yeah,
I think that could be our trickiest spot. It's our busiest time of the year this season, I think that could be the trickiest thing for us. So that's why I kept us in 5th to temper expectation. But I think one game a year, the changes we've made, the changes we're hoping to do in the next 2 weeks, I think 5th is very achievable.
Yeah. I've gone 5th as well. I don't have anything to add more than what you said there. I think one game a week, and I think all of a sudden there's depth in the squad when you've got one game a week, and I think we can rotate. And there is some quality there that might not be starting every week. The likes of, Mason Mount, Ahmad can play multiple positions. We've got cover at left wing back with Diego Leon. We've got a lot of centre backs. So yeah, I'm positive with 5th as well. Desi, any changes with what we've said there about 5th, or do you think we'll be higher, or what you're thinking?
No, I'll go with Ben on this and Chelsea for 5th.
All right, I like it because I know what's coming. Right, go on then, Ben. I'll let you lead off then. 4th place,
Man United.
Yep, always.
Like you say, one game a week. Hopefully we won't have as many injuries as what we've had, but we've got cover nowadays. We can change things. I think Zesco will hit the ground running, to be honest with you.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that. Do you think he'll score goals this season in this team?
Yeah. I think any striker would score goals in this team, to be honest with you. I think Højlund has scored goals with this team. The change that we've got. I know, but if you think, look behind him.
Means 2 or more. So yeah, you probably would be right on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think last season we made the chances and we couldn't score them, could we? We couldn't finish.
Yeah.
And I think this season is going to be a different story.
Right. Perfect. Desi, I'll go to you. 4th place.
City.
Oh, Jesus, this gets interesting. Right. Explain. Off you go.
Just, I don't want them to finish higher than us. No, genuinely, right? I don't see them having a good season this year. I really don't. I think the wheels are falling off for El Pep.
A lot of people have been saying, Desi, that they've kind of gone under the radar a little bit with their signings. With Nori, with Cherky, with who's the other one that they got? Yeah. But you obviously don't think it's good enough to get above 4th.
No, and I think that what Ben touched on there for us as well is that we do have that one game a week, so we'll have fresher bodies, hopefully. It gives us more focus on one game rather than looking at other games throughout the season, which I think is an actual advantage for us this year.
Yeah, perfect. Happy days. Oisín.
Arsenal.
I have
Arsenal in 4th. For one reason, I don't rate their manager. He's an absolute bottle job. I don't think he's good enough to manage that team. 1 FA Cup in 5 years, and he's the new Messiah. No, not for me. They've assembled a good squad, made some good signings. Zubimendi, Gyökeres, great signings, but I don't think Arteta is a winning manager, and for that reason, I have him in 4th.
And let me play devil's advocate here for a minute. They finished 2nd. Is it 3 years in a row now?
Yeah,
or 2 years in a row, whatever the case may be. They've been talking about needing a striker. Do you see Gyökeres coming in scoring goals? Maybe or.
I think you could have signed 2 strikers and played a 4-4-2. It's Arteta is the problem. He doesn't have a winning mentality. He's not a winning manager, and I don't think he's going to get them to where they want to go to.
I like it. And so does D. Bottle job. Say what you truly mean, Oisín. Come on, say it.
Bottle job. I'll say it again. He's an absolute bottle job.
Well,
with Lego hair.
Right. I hope you're right. I've gone with Chelsea, just to let you know. But Chris, I'll go to you last then. Who have you gotten for?
I think the world's going to come to an end. The whole thing's going to blow up. Because I agree with Oisín. I got Arsenal fourth. Literally, because I honestly think that, besides Arteta being a bottle job, I think that some of their signings, some of the stuff that they've lost, Thomas Partey out of the midfield, you're
Zubimendi going in though.
Yeah, but Zubimendi, we handled Zubimendi when we played him. He's not I don't know if he's a Premier League center midfielder, to be honest with you. I don't think he can handle the physicality of it. No offense, he's a La Liga player. When he played against other Barcelona and Real Madrid and stuff like that, people ate him up. And I think that the physicality and that's the one thing about the midfielders and stuff is that like getting eaten up. Like I think Zubamendi's going to get eaten up by the physicality of it, to be honest. And then you have Declan Rice. Okay, I like Declan Rice. I mean, they signed Madueke, which he's a Chelsea cast off at this point. Is he that much better than Martinelli? I don't. Is he? He's going to sit behind Saka. Saka was hurt last year. Okay, and from what I've seen with Arsenal, and I listened to one podcast and then I watched some of their highlights and stuff. They're trying to play Gyökeres like people have talked about Sesko, like a dominant aerial presence as a striker. That's not what he is. If you look at what Gyökeres does, he's a run behind the defender striker, and they're consistently trying to cross the balls into him. Like that's why I think where Oshin's right, it's a bottle job because his strategy right now is we're going to feed him in the air, and like I don't know if Gyökeres ever scored a goal in like a header in Portugal. Like I mean, as much as I like them, I just think that the mentality there is off. And, I think the one guy that I was listening to someone and it made a good point. Like, I don't know if having Odegaard as your captain will win you a Premier League. I think Odegaard a captain is tough.
You were listening to
Tony Adams was saying that one.
I agree with that, though. I agree with him that I think Declan Rice, because the one thing that Arsenal lost when they lost Thomas Partey is they lost the physicality of their midfield. Like that's the one thing that you can't. If you look at Newcastle, when Newcastle plays well, you have Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali and those guys in there. They beat you up. Like, and I think losing Thomas Partey and Declan Rice has not shown that he's that guy. As good as he is, he's not that physical presence, and I think they've lost that physical presence, and I think it's going to be tough on them. Look, that's why I have Chelsea a little bit higher is because I'll be honest with you, Moises Caicedo, wrecking ball. He's going to wreck. Like I think he's going to wreck Zubamendi. Like to the point where Zubamendi's going to be like, "Hey, I tap out. I need to come off the field. Like this guy's going to kill me." Like I just don't think he's. I think Arsenal's in trouble. To be honest with you, this year.
I like to hear it. Right, is that everybody for fourth? Yeah, everybody has given their predictions for fourth. Right. Yeah. Desi, I give you a first choice on third.
Right.
United.
Yeah. I think we'll finish goals this year. I just think we'll come up short. I put a comment of money on videos there earlier on. You were talking about the team in general, and it's good to see that the club are starting to back the manager. I wouldn't say that he's got the full amount of tools that he needs, but we've got a good enough squad to compete in that area, and with the one game a week is a big, massive advantage for us, and for him to get the players on the training pitch every week. So I can see us picking up points where other teams might be coming back from Champions League games and not performing as well, and we'll be fresh and ready. So I put us towards you.
Lovely, happy days. Oshin.
Chelsea. I've Chelsea third.
Chelsea, yeah. No real explanation.
With 125 first team players, surely you can get an 11 out every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
surely they put a team together.
What we say with our one game a week, Chelsea could literally do that in every competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They could have a different team for every competition and still have two or three teams left over. You know? Yeah. No, I just, like Chris was saying, their midfield, you've got Cole Palmer. You add Delap to that. I just think there's goals there, and I think they'll do. I think Delap will fit in the Chelsea system, Chris. I saw your face. I think you fit that system.
Have you seen João Pedro in pre-season? He is banging in goals for them.
I didn't see much of Chelsea pre-season, but I just think that looking at who they signed and looking at what they have and who they've gotten rid of, I think that'll help them.
Yeah, 100%. Chris, third.
I have Man City.
Okay.
I have Man City just because I do like some of their signings. I won't mention the name so D doesn't get on me about it. But I do like Reinders, the guy they pulled from AC Milan, the Dutch guy. And then you got to remember they do get Rodri back. So I think that's a big plus.
Big season for Phil Foden.
I'll be honest, I don't see Phil Foden playing very much because I think Marmoush is going to sit him down. Like I think Marmoush is a good player, and I think that Doku and then Savio will be playing on the wings. I just think you're going to give him the tools, and they've been eerily quiet. That I think they're gonna do just fine. And honestly, I think the other part of it is I think Donnarumma is going to end up there.
Yeah,
and
that's a big one.
And I mean, being a shot stopper that he is, I think that's gonna help them out a lot at that point because I think they'll pay the wages that he wants. The only reason why I don't think we'll end up with Donnarumma is because of the wages that he wants, and they're very high at this point. That I've read. So, I mean, as much as I'd like to have Donnarumma, I don't think we'll end up with him because of that reason.
Perfect. Ben, third place.
I've got Arsenal.
Arsenal,
yeah. I know. No to say about him. What do you want to say about Arsenal?
Let's move on. I've got Arsenal as well, by the way, in third place. Right, we'll do second and then first. So we'll do it all. We'll group it together. Oisín, I'll go to you first. So give me your second and then give me your champions.
So I've Liverpool coming second, just being pipped by Man City. I think who City have bought this year are more in line with Pep signings, and he'd work with them more than the superstars of Haaland and these kind of players. That we'll see a more Pep team than we have in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Pep doesn't lose a league and then not win it the next year in all the places he's managed. I think they are coming in under the radar. I think Liverpool relied a lot on Salah last year. He's a year older. He's a year slower. All that hair is kind of slowing him down a bit more. So I think if they get Isak, it's a different story. But I'm just going as how we stand now. Ekitike, who else did they sign?
Ekitike looked sharp in the Community Shield, in fairness, didn't he?
He did.
He had a blistering 4 minutes. You know, he scored a goal, and then we didn't see much of him because I thought Crystal Palace were a better team. Last weekend, and I think they deserve to win. Van Dijk is a year older. They haven't got. Everyone keeps saying they need a goal scorer. I'm seeing a lot of kind of pundits come today saying they actually need a centre half more than they need a goal scorer. So they've got a lot of new players to bet in there. This is going to be Slot's team. And let's see if he can do it with his own team like he could with Klopp's team. And look, everyone, as I say, that Salah, who was a huge player last year, is that year older now. So I have him second. And I just have City. Just because of Pep, who he is, his track record, and the players he signed, they're coming under the radar. They're waiting in the long grass, I think. Yeah, perfect. Desi, second and first.
Second, Liverpool, first, Arsenal. I know you hate Arsenal, Jack, by the way.
Big call, big call.
I am not a fan of them cunts whatsoever, but I think Arteta will get them over the line this year.
And do you think it's down to the Gyökeres signing, or is it just time?
I think it's time too. I think it'll pay off what they've done. If they don't look, everybody knows now. I think even the Arsenal fans know that if he doesn't do the job this year, his job is on the run, really. And I just think that they have the quality now to go and do it. I was listening to Chris talk about Zubimendi. I think he'll mix it with the best in the league. I don't think he'd be as lightweight as what he thinks. I think he's got the quality to be a great player in this league.
I'm worried about him on Sunday, to be honest with you. I think he's going to run midfield on Sunday.
Especially playing along with Declan Rice. I think that's a partnership made in heaven for him. And listen, the guy's not afraid to get stuck in. He'll put in a challenge. He'll put his weight around the pitch. He's very good on the ball. He's extremely good on the ball. His body language, especially when he's off the ball, is no worries. I wouldn't blame you. Here's that. Look, I can see them doing it this year, honestly.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Ben, I'll go to you next. Second and first.
Second, Liverpool. City's going to win it. Exactly like Oisín just said. As bad as it sounds.
Oh, right. Okay.
Kills you to say it, but... And City were unlucky with injuries, like you say, last season.
Yeah, the Rodri was a big one, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
Right, okay. Chris, I give you.
I got Liverpool second and Chelsea first.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, I just think that. I mean, Liverpool. I think Slot is gonna. He brought in a lot of players, and I think it's gonna like the one thing I look at Frimpong is. I mean, I know he scored in Community Shield, but him going forward is a detriment because like how we talk about right wing backs and everything like that. Going forward is great, but you still got to defend, and I haven't seen that out of him yet. And I think that's going to be a problem. I think Wirtz is a good player, but again, there's going to take time to adjust. And I think, I mean, I'll put a caveat on it. If they get Isak, it's a little bit different. But right now, I don't. As we stand, I got them second. And with Chelsea, I just, watching them play and watching them against in the Club World Cup against PSG and how they dismantled PSG, and they did. I mean, there wasn't. They took PSG's midfield away from them. Like it was just Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and João Neves looked like they didn't even look like they showed up that day. And I just think that they do that with. I'll be honest. I think Delap's going to sit the bench a lot this year, and I think João Pedro is going to score a lot of goals. Cole Palmer. I think the one kid that everybody forgets is the Esteval kid that they signed from the Brazilian club. He had a very good Club World Cup too, and he's coming into that team. Pedro Neto's there. The one thing that worries me, and I think they still have time to make a move, is they lost Colwell, their center back, to an ACL again. So that's going to be a little bit dicey, but I think they'll make a move. But again, I just think with what they have in their team and that the way their midfield they just took let's just put it out there. They took the team that won the Champions League and they dismantled them 3-0 and wasn't even close. It wasn't. I mean, they took them to task. What's that?
It's a friendly though, really, isn't it?
No, they came out to play. With all the money that was on the line, yeah, they came out to play. Everybody was there to play that day.
Money hungry fuckers.
But I just think that with what they have going on, they have enough to win the Prem, and I think that now. Do I think they're going to win the Champions League? I don't think they're going to win the Champions League because I think it's going to be like one or the other at that point. But I think in the Premier League, I think that they're going to boss some people around in the midfield, which I worry about.
Perfect, right? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm the only one out of the lot to have Liverpool winning the league. I've got City finishing second and Liverpool. Now, I have to say I kind of done it with future thinking that maybe Isak is going to be in the team. I think if Isak signs for him, I think they'll run away with it. I really do.
Jack, I think D just cancelled his subscription.
Yeah, D will never be seen ever again in the comments section. Ever.
No longer a member.
Yeah. He says Desi's back on the Christmas card list because Chris has been in the sun too long. So yeah, look, I think a lot of people talking about your man on the right. What was his name? You mentioned him there, Chris. Frimpong. And a lot of the focus is on him. I think Kirkes is going to have a better season on the left. I think he's a fantastic player. He's up and down. And, he sets up goals really well. Nothing suggests Salah is going to slow down. You know what I mean? I think, and I know you made the point on it. He's a year older, and absolutely. People have been saying that for 3 or 4 years now, and he just keeps putting the goals in. And I don't know, maybe we'll bringing in too many new players upset the apple cart a little bit. Will it take time for, Frimpong and him to get used to each other on the right-hand side? I hope so, and I hope I'm wrong. But, yeah, I've gone with Liverpool. Right. So what I want you to do is, after this is over, send me on all of your predictions, right? And I'll save them on a file, and then we'll come back to them. We'll come back to them then at the end of the season.
And that's a joke. That's a joke. I have to watch the whole video back.
We'll let you off. Whatever you think in your head, just send them on to me. We won't worry too much about it. Right. I want to go into your predicted 11s real quick because we're 40 minutes in and we still have to get to some of the news as well. I'll put my predicted 11 on the screen and just shout and let me know what you would change. I've gone for Binder in the goal, Yaro, De Ligt, Shaw, Dorgu, Ahmad, Casemiro, Ugarte, Cunha, Bruno, and Sesko. Oisin, I think it was your original idea to get involved with the predicted 11. I'll let you go first. Anthony, you would change or tell me where
I'm 90% with you there, except I would not play Casemiro. I put Bruno back there and play Mbeumo. I don't think you could. And I watched your video, and you said he hasn't. He's not had as much of a preseason.
Yeah,
Sesko's had no preseason with this team.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to play Sesko, you have to play Mbeumo. And I don't think you can play Ugarte and Casemiro against that Arsenal midfield. I think they'd be absolutely ran over. So putting Bruno in there gives a bit of energy, a bit of legs.
But does it give him defensive stability?
Well, I think with those around him, with Dorgu and Ahmed and the back three, I think there's enough defensive, and the fact that Cunha and Mbeumo will work back and forward all day long. I think we can afford a passenger there rather than having Fernandes and 10 as a passenger. Was my thinking behind it. But that would be I would rather play Heaton, but Heaton hasn't played a competitive game in 2 years, so he's not going to start. There's talks about Nana being available.
I think did he play behind, or he either did or he is scheduled for a behind closed doors preseason or game this week. So
I don't think he'll be ready for Sunday regardless of. So buy in there is our option. That scares me. Shaw, I would rather not play Shaw there either. If we had Heaven, I'd play Heaven there ahead of him, or Mazraoui, who's still injured. You could play Delo back there, but he's a defensive liability waiting to happen. Yeah. So I agree with your back three, and I would just make that one tactical for me change. Put Bruno back there and Mbeumo. That was my only difference there.
Yeah. Ben, any how do you see the starting 11, or would you change anything?
No, I agree with Oisin there. Exactly like he said, I'd rather have Eaton in that, but it'll never happen, will it?
Yeah, 100%.
He can play, can't he? So it's just a shame that he'll not get picked.
Yeah, 100%. Desi, how are you liking this setup?
Yeah, I think that's the starting 11 there now, Jack.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I think when everyone is fit, maybe obviously look Luke Shaw there and be in there, but I think you move Shaw out and bring in maybe Lisandro Martinez and be in there for Onana, wherever. I think it's pretty set. After that, Chris, I'll give you final thoughts on it.
I mean, I think that after them having they rushed the closed door scrimmage, for Sesko, I think he's going to start, and I think you nailed it right there. The only thing I was thinking of maybe Heaven instead of Shaw, but I think the experience of Luke Shaw, I think we need to have that in this game with the lick.
Evan has a knock too, doesn't he?
I think he does. I think Heaven
has a knock.
Does he have a knock? Okay, I wasn't sure if he had a knock or not, but so I think Shaw, Dorgu, Ahmad. I mean, I think that the one thing that everybody wants to, I understand everybody's like, oh, Bruno, playing the other six. Cunha and Baleba they're gonna work back. Like they're not gonna just stand out here and not do anything. Like they're gonna I think Amarin's gonna have them clog the midfield. I think you're gonna see Cunha really go after Zubamendi and Declan and Baleba. I mean, I think they're gonna really go after their midfield and try to disrupt and get some and win the ball in there and then break free, because I think we will play on the counter quite often in this game. And I think that Dorgu and Ahmad just going up the wings is where you're going to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I think Sesko is. I haven't scored a brace, to be honest with you.
Fucking lovely. Happy days. Right. Let's get into some of the news before we finish up. We've got to talk first and foremost about Baleba, because an awful lot of news coming out the last few days about him. And Laurie Whitwell on Talk of the Devils today said talks are continuing. Intermediaries on behalf of United and the player are there as well to see if Brighton will be open to a deal. Brighton are saying he's not for sale, and there is quite a bit of skepticism at Manchester United if this can be achieved. Still, it has not been totally shut down. I mean, give me your thoughts on it, guys. Look, this was announced today from an African outlet. So obviously, pinch of salt. Manchester United and Brighton have reached an agreement on Carlos Baleba, 112 million euros. And then we've had Edie Kayla, who this is an account that was a long time. I'm talking maybe 10 years ago. Broke a couple of stories that were true, and then had nothing until David Ornstein last week. I think he credited him with the breaking the Sesko news, I think. So he seems to be back on whoever he is, but he's been told not to say anything about his future to the media. Oisín, I'll go to you first on it. What's your thoughts about Baleba? Do you think realistically a deal can be done, or is it too much money? And where is the money coming from?
That was going to be my question. Where's the money coming? Okay, look, we can offset. we can offset, and this is probably on your agenda as well. But I mean, we're considering a 20 million bid for Sancho. What's there to consider? Sign on the dotted line and get him out the door. Yeah. That's 20 million towards Baleba. Job done. I think he is. I know Chris likes some Danish Michael Carrick wannabe from Sporting or something like that. But I think he's the player that we need there. He's a ball winner, ball player. I think he's going to do I think he'll do a job for us there. My only concern, and look, this is going to show who I grew up with as my manager with United, is we're going to lose 5 players to AFCON at Christmas time, which is a huge. I mean, that's half your first team going, and the 5 that we will lose will be first teamers. Can we afford to do that? Other than that, I have no problem with the buy. I think he's what we need, and I think if we can give him for a 5-year deal, I think he could be the midfield engine for years to come. I genuinely do.
Yeah, and it's that whole, people are going to be going for him next year anyway, so let's try and jump the gun a little bit. Desi, I haven't got your thoughts on Baleba yet at all, because obviously you weren't with us last week, but what's your thoughts on the player and him potentially coming tonight and what he could do for the team and the squad?
Yeah, I like him, Jack. He's the type of player we need right now, and I just love to see that deal going through. I don't need to go into detail on him. I think it's been clear to see he's a fantastic player, and I think he can definitely take the weight of the shirt when he comes. And yeah, I just hope they get it done. We need that. We need that midfielder, Jack. It's clear to see. We really need him, and I think there's 2 ways to look at it. If we get him, he strengthens the squad. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's the most important thing for United now. How do we strengthen that squad? And what age is he? He's
21.
21. Look, get the deal done. If it's 120 million, buy him. Get him in. However we get the money, I'd love to see him in United shirt.
Ben, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think potentially it could get done with this high valuation?
Yeah, the way Ineos have been working with the deals, of course it could.
There you go.
Like I say, will it take a couple of sales to make it happen? Yeah, I do believe it will, just to free the funds up to do it. But if it's there, your pants, don't you? Like you say, next season somebody else will.
Yeah, 100%. Right, there's a little bit of positivity for Ineos. Chris.
I mean, to be honest with you, I never thought he was an option because of the price tag. I mean, the price tag in itself is just I think the price tag is 120. If he's going to move, it's going to be for 120. It's going to be for what they sold Moises Caicedo for. I mean,
let me play devil's advocate on that one a little bit. Mm-hmm. The Moises Caicedo deal, there was a couple of clubs interested, and they were nearly played off of each other. United are not going to bid unless they know the player is willing to come or the club is willing to negotiate. Do you not think that brings the price down?
No, because they don't have to sell him, and they've already kind of said that they don't want to sell him unless, I mean, they said that if the right offer comes in, then they would consider it and look to sell him at that point. And I mean, I praise Ineos for the forethought of trying to go get him, ahead of the curve, because the curve is next season where everybody is going to be bidding on him. And, I do like him. I mean, he is. I agree with everybody. He's a guy. He's a guy that you need. I just never thought that we would be in for him. He's a masterclass in the midfield. I mean, he really is. I mean, he does everything well. I went back and looked at, like, you compare him with a lot of the other guys. I mean, he carries the ball, he passes the ball, he breaks plays up. He's all energy at that point, and he's what we need and everything like that. And to be honest with you, I don't even think we need to have sales to get him. I just think it's because now that we're in this year, we just have to make sure we get sales before June 1st of next year, or June 30th of next year, of next summer. So we don't have to do anything right now. PSR rules are for June 30th of next year. So as long as we sell people for next season, we're fine.
No way. No fucking way.
I'm telling you, that's the way it works.
That's brilliant if that's true.
No way. Hold on a minute.
Brilliant.
So Oshin has just shared something with me here.
Uh-oh.
I hope he done that. I hope he done that.
So look, supposedly Bruno Fernandes has commented under Fabrizio Romano's post about Sancho going for 20 million, saying freedom.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my captain. That is
Yes.
Bruno.
What?
I mean, from what I read about the Roma thing with him, is the fact that Roma are willing to do the deal. They just can't. They can't communicate with Sancho's camp. That's what's holding up the deal. Is that Sancho has to agree to go there at that point, and that's what's holding it. United's like out the door, but he's got to agree to it at that point. So,
yeah, it's an interesting one. Like, a lot of the reports a couple of days ago were suggesting Sancho wants to stay in Europe if at all possible, but if he can't find a deal that suits him, he would be happy moving to Turkey. There's some interest from clubs there. I mean, surely, lads, and Oshin, spoke about it a little bit already. Surely we've got to take that 20 million and take the hand and all off of them.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that, and I mean the Garnacho thing.
As daft as it sounds, do you take the 20 and give him the 5 just to get rid?
Yes.
No.
Do it.
No way. I'm not giving that prick anything else. Well, you know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, Ben. To be honest with you, I'd rather let him rot in the reserves. And I know we need money, or do we need money? You know what I mean? And I'm sure it will go, towards the Baleba deal or whatever the case may be. But that prick does not deserve to get an extra 5 million into his pocket walking out the door. He's done nothing for our football club.
100%.
That would be so dangerous. I mean, Rashford will want something similar then if we have to get him out the door, as will Garnacho. We're just opening the can of worms there.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
We know how tight Ineos are as well, and rightly so. You know what I mean? I could never see. But look, Chris, 20 million for Sancho. Now, Fabrizio Romano has given us an update. Talks for Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea continue. It's not much of an update. Personal terms, 100%. I mean, if you're getting 40 for him, 20 for Garnacho, or 20 for Sancho, you're getting Rashford's wages off the books. You would hope maybe Anthony moves on. Surely the money is there for Baleba for you to go out and go, right, look, we can get this deal done now comfortably.
I think the money. I mean, their money has to be there. Otherwise, why are we going for it? I mean, why are we wasting our time at that point? I mean, I think that this is where we speculate and they know, and I think that. Everybody talks about, United's broke, and I think that, and I'll give Sir Jim a little bit of credit here, is that, and Ineos, if they've done this is kind of a masterclass, and they've duped everyone to think that we're broke and that we're not going to go out there and that we're, and if they
that last week.
I hear you, and I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, but at the same time, like, they got it, but here's the thing: they got to go out and they got to do it. They got to go out and they got to make it happen. But the other thing is, and I'll rate it if they get Baleba in. And from what I've heard is that possibly after the second game, when Emi Martinez is available to play, you could go in the Villa and be like, "Hey, let me have him, and you can get him at maybe a cut price because Villa has to sell players. Like that's the one thing that's come out about him. And so I think if you could get Emi Martinez and Baleba in, I will stand up and applaud Ineos for that, because that's as much as I'd like. Yeah, okay, here we go. As much as I'd like to see giving them
like
shtick
COVID.
about it.
Remember when everyone was standing at their front doors clapping for like nurses and doctors and stuff? What a load of shit.
But I mean, truly, if we got all the players in, got Baleba and Emi Martinez in, I mean, I think that's a big masterclass out of them for where we were going into the window.
Yeah, right. D, I'll give you or Desi, I'll give you final thoughts on the whole, Sancho, Garnacho out, Baleba deal. Do you think these deals can get done? We need a number 6, we need a goalkeeper. That would be the ideal ending to the transfer window. Can you realistically see it getting done between now and the 1st of September? So what are we? We're little over 2 weeks.
Well, look, if we go back a few weeks, and you asked me the same question, I'd say no. But with the way Ineos have done things, you're kind of on the verge now. You're kind of looking at them going, these can actually get this done, and you wouldn't put it past them getting it done in that amount of time, Jack. And I think that's the most exciting thing for the fans right now, is that we can see these deals getting done, and we're not wasting our time, as Chris would have said. If the money wasn't there, why would we even look at this player? It seems like that's the way we are now, and that's a good positive position to be in. The one thing about Ineos, Jack, is I wouldn't have been in any way, shape, or form in agreement with them getting into bed with the Glazers, but they have really done a good job, Jack. And if they do get Baleba, they've done an extremely good job. The only thing, and not to try and throw a fucking curveball into that and try and put a negative on it, but we need that going forward. I mean, and the manager needs it, and he needs that back in now. If we want to really see the club transition into a really good team, that has to continue for just another little while till we have that full squad where we can say, right, we can go to war now. We can compete against any club. We have the strength and depth. And yeah, back to your question, I wouldn't put it past them getting it done. Right now, as it stands, they could definitely do it. Yeah, 100%.
Happy days. I like to hear it. Right, boys, I think we'll leave it there. I'm looking forward to revisiting all of our predictions at the end of the season and seeing, hopefully.
I'm looking forward to watching it over. I'm looking forward to watching this now for an hour till I write it down on a piece of paper.
Well, I hope, Desi, you're the one that's most correct, because you had us finishing second, I think, did you? Third.
Arsenal fourth, Liverpool second, I think. I can kind of remember. Okay. I'll do all right.
Boys, I appreciate you coming on as always, and I'll talk to you during the week or over the weekend or whatever the case may be. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we go, we done this last time. Are we on again next week?
We're on again next week. Yeah.
Do we think Baleba will be in by next week's podcast? The last time we done this, it walked out.
Right. Positive vibes only.
Just for the crack, why not?
Great way to finish. Right, boys, I appreciate it, and I talk to you over the weekend.
Enjoy Sunday night, Jack.
Sorry?
Enjoy Sunday night.
I will, of course. Oasis, come on. I have the bucket hat ready to go.
You need the
UCC bucket hat, surely.
Jack, or no?
What?
Do you need me to do watch along for the game or no?
Let me look into it, Chris. I'm still working about how to actually do it. And if I figure it out between now and then, I think ideally what I will do is I will do it on a day where I'm actually in the house.
I got you.
And I've got the laptop and I can just oversee the whole thing.
You're saying this for 6 months, Jack. You're a bit like the Glazers.
Oisin, what did you say?
I said, is it the UCC bucket hat?
No, it's not the UCC bucket hat. It's a proper, and you'll kill me. It's a sky blue Oasis Adidas one. Look, fuck it.
So a sky blue hat and Liverpool will win the league.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's happened to the UCC?
Thanks for
Fraud.
watching, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. So,
see you.
I'll talk to you.
Good luck.
Take it easy. Good luck. Good luck. Thanks for
Catch you
watching,
later.
guys. I do appreciate it as always. Do smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. And yeah, hopefully we'll get there by the end of September. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow night with the news show at 9 o'clock. So make sure you're tuning in for that. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well for all the latest breaking news also. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night, and I'll chat to you tomorrow. Take it easy. Good luck.